Hey, Soul Survivors. So we are live again. How's everybody doing this evening? Yeah, still evening, 11:20, and just logging into everything right now. Got people telling me I've made a mistake today. So as soon as you guys are in, I'll go ahead and tell you. All right, so let me let Debbie know. And got to see Mike is here, and Bellamy. Am I saying that right? And it says, invite people to go live, please share. And today's topic, whatever you guys want to talk about. Hey, Matt, good to have you here. We're just talking about whatever you want to talk about. But the topic I picked today is mental illness just a lack of morals? So we'll go through and talk about that. Mimi, hello. So I got a notification from Debbie. She joins us on the YT channel. And I made a mistake over there. Alexa plays 5'9". I don't have Alexa. Well, I have, what is it? I don't know, Dot, or I don't even know, but I haven't hooked it up. That's kind of funny. Did it play? I'm 6'1" though. Did it play it for anybody? Alexa, stop. So good to have you guys here. You guys are so silly with me. And Patrick is here. You are so pretty. Thank you, Matt. Just got out of the shower just a little bit ago. Took a nice long nap. Google. I'm waiting to see if it did work for someone. There was this little boy though. It was kind of silly, but he was convinced his name was Alexa. So you're scared? Yeah, 6'1". But he was convinced his name was Alexa because every time the parents wanted something turned on or to stop or whatever, and the kid kept like answering to it. He was like 2 years old or something. That's kind of sad. What do you guys think about technology? I'm not supposed to say certain things. I'm not supposed to say the YT, I think. I don't know. Conflict of interest. Who knows? But you guys get me in trouble. Hi, Nate. So what do you guys think about that topic? Do you think Siri, I forgot about Siri. Thank you for all the love. And what do you guys think about that? Is mental illness just a lack of morals, kind of temptations, different things like that? Because a friend of mine was just asking, kind of, what do you think about this type of mental illness for this in particular person? My screen looks different tonight. The background, or it just depends on. It's the same. Just depends. It's a little bit over. So I need to move it, but I don't know where to move it to. But this is what I have for right now. And then the blue thing that's been here for, I don't know, 3 days now. Looks better in person. I don't know. There you go. I don't know, look better in person. I don't know, it just looks different. Maybe because I'm wearing a sweater instead of a tank top. Maybe that's it. I don't know. It is cold though. I have my heat at like 56 or 76 degrees. But so they were asking about what do you think? Is this person a psychopath or a sociopath? And we have to remember that when somebody's dealing with substance abuse or addictions, that changes how they are. It's not necessarily a mental illness, but it can cause that brain damage. Also the different adrenaline. So Debbie, I think I made a mistake. Debbie's asking what's up. Where did you see them saying, where am I in chat? Was that under, I accidentally set up a live stream yesterday and something went wrong. So I reset one up. I didn't realize it didn't log off or it didn't go live. And so it was still showing that I had this live up and coming. And so I just changed it, I think to 8 or 8:30. And I forgot and I went to bed. So is that where they were saying something like, where is she? So I apologize for that. That might have caused some inconvenience. 7:30. Yeah, I thought I would be fine doing that. And then 4 o'clock, I just fell asleep. I did set my alarm for 7. I probably would have forgotten anyways, which is my fault. Homebrewer says, you're someone's reasons to smile. The world is lucky to have you. I appreciate that. My goodness, that's kind. And I bet you are too. You know, we all have people in our lives that we actually make a difference in their lives. And sometimes we don't even know the people or realize it could be somebody at work or somebody at the gas station. But I feel bad though. I don't like doing that. Also, it's really kind of difficult. I got to figure out the knack for setting it up and then going live. Every time I set it up, I have a problem utilizing that exact connection. So I got to figure out. You guys are going to get me in trouble. They're trying to get me in trouble. But addictions, those can come from somewhat of a mental illness, or they can just come from temptation and the chemical reactions within the body. Mimi's getting a kick out of that. Yeah, they're I could mess with thousands of people's lives right now by saying that. You're awesome. Thank you. You are too. So, but understanding what is a mental illness, and also you see the differences in rates. Now you have a lot more people with adult onset ADHD. Was it just masked the entire time, undiagnosed? You see the uptick in autism, all these kind of things, narcissism, and it's a mental illness partially because it goes against morals. You know, you're not, it's almost like you're playing God or entitled or things like that, that you're not learning the lessons to function in a society. You're still kind of that wild child. And part of it's training in a sense. Hey, awesome lady. You want me to say, Alexa, play 5'9"? I can't ask Alexa to play 5'9". Alexa, stop. Did it work for anybody? But the reason I bring this up is because, you know, if you've dealt with the narcissist, then there can be some stuff going on in your brain, because it does take like brain damage. It causes brain damage. Mimi says, no, eyes hurt so bad I haven't had my glasses on all day. And that's our body telling us we need something. And my eyes have been kind of burning the last 2 mornings. So learn the lesson from that. Keep your eyeglasses close by. Wear them when you're supposed to. And I'm sorry, that's probably uncomfortable. But I think there's somewhat of a connection between morals and also some comments in the live were filtered. What'd you guys say? Got people saying stuff. So as far as what's going on in our brain, we need to do that effort to rewire it, to get to where we're not tempted to fall prey to a life that's just going to lead to destruction or depression or sadness. So I'm not sure what was said to get the comments filtered. Mimi says, so sensitive. I didn't even say anything bad. I don't know. Yeah, sometimes there's certain little triggers, just like people. That's a good thing to segue into, is people have certain sensitivities or triggers. And sometimes we don't quite understand, like, what just happened with these relationships. But the healthier a person is, the less triggers that they have, the more honest that they are. And it's just an easier life. If you think about society, we have certain rules. So life is easier because, you know, you stand in line, you know, okay, I'm the 5th in line, but I will be served. And you just kind of have a comfort knowing that you'll be okay, and you can pace yourself. But with a narcissist, with all the deception and everything like that, you don't know how to pace yourself. You don't know what to expect. And Amuse says sometimes a single word can trigger a person. Exactly. And I even gave that example of like when I was growing up, you wanted the tiny butt. Now people want the big butt and that you got a fat ass, PHAT. So if somebody gave me a compliment, like, man, you got a fat ass, meaning PHAT, but it's so close to FAT. And I know they meant it as a compliment, but it made me uncomfortable. So sometimes compliments, even if you're like, you're beautiful, a lot of it is if there's something about the person, like, I don't know. Let's say I was super self-conscious about being tall. Okay. I don't like it, but I'm fine with it. There's benefits, but let's just say that people kept commenting on my height. Like, wow, you look like a supermodel. You're so tall. Or, I don't know, whatever they would say. But if it bugged me, and even though they're saying like, you are so lucky, you could be a runway model, or you could do this or that, that other people are like, yeah, like, that's a compliment. That's like, a lot of people can't achieve that. But if you don't like the height, it's going to bother you and it might trigger you. So even compliments can trigger someone. Sometimes too, if somebody doesn't feel pretty and you're like, you're so beautiful. They're like, yeah, you're probably lying to me, or I don't want to hear it because I don't believe it. But I appreciate your compliments. I'm not saying that. Definitely not a trigger for me. I appreciate it. And Home says, you're someone's reason to smile. That's so sweet. Keep radiating bliss. I agree, Home Brewer. So sorry to distract. That's okay. Mimi says, I didn't know you cuss. I try not to. I do a little bit, and I shouldn't. So, but that was like the phrase. Sometimes when you quote somebody, but I do, but I try not to. Homebrewer says, cheers, I'm out. Thanks so much for the compliments and for joining. Amu says, vibes. Some people give off the wrong vibes too. Yeah. Home says, for all the times that you felt like you weren't enough, I want to reassure you that you're more than enough. And a lot of us need to internalize that, because there are times we do feel like failures, or we didn't live up to expectations. Sometimes it's even our own expectations or other people's expectations. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And hello, Ryder. You're so pretty. Thank you so much. Amu says, I don't mind heights. I'm grounded so I can catch it when you fall. I always joked, being 6'1", what would happen if I had a baby and my baby was afraid of heights? Could I hold it? So Johnny says no one should judge. I agree. And that's where a lot of problems come in. But sometimes too, like I mentioned, compliments. You might think it's a wonderful compliment. And depending on somebody's self-esteem, it, might throw them off, or we don't always know what somebody's going through. So, somebody lost like 50 pounds. You're like, oh my gosh, you look fantastic. Congratulations. But you don't realize they lost the weight because they're stressed and going through cancer treatments. And yeah, it's tricky navigating life where what do we say? What don't we say? So just try to be kind, try to give people grace. If they give you a compliment, you can let them know, like, let's not talk about that. But Mimi says, my head is literally throbbing. Is it throbbing because your eyes strain? Why do you have a headache? Were you crying today? Or what do you think about the atmospheric pressure? I was a little stuffy today, and all my tutors and their kids have been sick. I don't think I'm sick, but... So yes, Debbie, thank you for letting me know. How many people were chatting? Was it just like one or two? Hopefully it wasn't too many that I upset. But I think we'll have more people getting alerted. I feel bad about that. Amu says, I'm curious, who is taking out your dog? I know, random question. That is a random question. What brought that up? I'm supposed to have a guy named Mike take out my dog. Mimi says, oh yeah, I was crying and my eye strained. So yeah, I've gotten there where you get some really bad headaches and sometimes just going to sleep. So yeah, last night I said I had a doc. Yes, I will hire somebody to take my doc out because I have no clue what I'm doing. But when I bought this house, it was even before I paid my first dollar. I came out here to do a little video, put an offer in on the house, and I was so excited. They just accepted it, hadn't paid anything yet, but because they accepted it, it was my responsibility, I guess. I don't even know if that's true. But I come up and the ice had damaged it and broke off my dock. So the water is not even cold yet. I don't know. I have a feeling, I think they said it got down to like 50 degrees for the water. I'll have to see. It's supposed to be warmer today or this weekend. So I'll go test it tomorrow. I want to have one more day where we go out, and it's one of my friend's birthday. So can't quite see who's live on Facebook, but please say hello so I know you're here. Amuse says, I have a wetsuit and tools. I have the waders, so I do have those. Mimi says, I wish I can leave tomorrow. You can leave and go to school tomorrow. One more day, and then we have the weekend. So I know you got to stay in tomorrow. Yep, I know. Things don't always go the way we want. But sometimes we just have to redirect ourselves, find other things to do. And how's everybody's friends? And oh, that's right, you don't go to school tomorrow. Oh, I don't go to school Monday. I'm glad you brought that up. I would have shown up on Monday, Columbus Day. So did you enjoy your break? But people down in Florida, did you guys have any friends that were affected by that? Because there is going to be some CPTSD from that. And, you know, people might need some support and, you know, setting up boundaries. It's okay to help people, but know what your limits are, know what you're capable of. And, you know, sometimes we have to be honest and redirect people. You know, I can't help you. Maybe I can give you, you know, let's say it's your sister down there. You know, I can give you $50 or $100. I can't take on a whole family in my house, but here are some resources. There's times we can do research and that can help, or just be a support. If you're able to help, that's fantastic, but don't do it to where it's going to strain the relationship. Amuse says, I went to Mike Check in Florida, Green Parrot. It was awesome. Oh, what? Where is that though? That was probably fun. Is that in Tampa? Interesting. The Keys. Okay, the Keys. How long ago did you go there? I have a friend down there. Mile marker 1. Okay. Yeah, I haven't been to the Keys. I've been to Florida. My mom, if this is you watching, my mom went to the Keys last winter. Mimi says my break was depressing and still is. Aw, you didn't have fun logging in and talking to me? Sometimes it might be boring, but you got to relax and get a little extra sleep, so you'll be all rejuvenated for the new week coming up. How many of you guys have Monday off? I forgot about that. Huh. So I did wake up late. I was going to do my schoolwork before I logged in, but I was already running late. So yesterday we talked about the different dispositions and why it's important. Did you guys know that there's a lot of schools where Debbie says I'm off every day? Oh, I can't wait for that day. Do you enjoy it, or do you miss working? Do you like not working? Some people do, some people don't. Mimi says I'm off on Monday. Yes, you had a nice. Oh, yeah. Mimi was being a woman this week, so yeah, that's not always fun. You don't miss working? I know. But it's interesting that some people who are workaholics, that's their coping mechanism. And a lot of us need a purpose in life. And without that purpose, a lot of people give up. So if you're struggling with things, sometimes finding a purpose, even if it's taking care of a little hamster or something like that, or taking care of a garden, find a little purpose in life. And you know, maybe be a support to other people, and talk to them or volunteer to soup kitchen or be my support. Keep logging in live. I love to the live chats. Mimi says, hopefully it ends tomorrow. Hopefully, yes. And got something to look forward to. Catherine is here. Nice to have you. Amuse says, I have a purpose. I need to help an acquaintance take her dock out. Aw, that would be sweet. Hopefully I get one more weekend of the water. I don't know. And what's interesting in that boat that was donated so kindly to me, I still have to have the work done on it. But it had like a trolling motor in. Like they threw a bunch of stuff into it, like a storage unit. And it came with a trolling motor. So maybe I'll take my little canoe out with my trolling motor, and somehow I'm getting on that water. So, but that you're sweet. Thank you, Amuse. Mark is here. And, I was taking time trying to figure out, do I want a dock house or a pool house? And yeah, this was pretty low maintenance. I scraped out the seaweed a little bit. That took a couple days. Thank you, Mallory, for helping me. And after that, you just put the dock in, take the dock out. I used to have a pool. It was nice having one, but this is definitely better. Amu says, nice. I have a canoe too. Yeah, so we'll see about the trolling motor. Somehow that's got to work. Mimi says, I feel like I had to throw up earlier. Uh-oh, are you sick or nervous? Nigel, is that what it is? Nigel. I do outfit checks when I reach my goal. So 500 roses is only $5. You guys can work on that together. But I'll do an outfit check. Right now, it's just it's a sparkle sweater. It's nothing exciting today, but I got cool little pockets on my pants. A gazebo next to the dock. Kind of like that. Or I was even thinking like an archway or something. So, yeah, I thought about that. I have a wishing well. Does that count? I have a wishing well on my property, but a gazebo would be beautiful. Mimi says it's probably because of my woman thing. It could be. It could be. That kind of throws everybody off. Amuse says that way you don't have to pull it out. It will be on land. The gazebo, well, I still need a dock for a boat though. But the gazebo could stay. Yeah, definitely. Mimi says, what's up with these outfit checks? They're boys wanting to see what I look like. Men. That's what they don't care about my outfit. They just want to see what I look like. Debbie says you could put lights around it. That'd be beautiful. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad I invested in some solar lights because they just light up the property really nice. Yeah, maybe. Oh, Lord. Yeah, they don't care what I'm wearing. They just want to see what I look like. Trump. Oh, how did you? Trump is here. L-O-K? I think you mean L-O-L? L-O. I think you mean LOL. How's it going, Trump? Trump has just joined us. You can get me in trouble. What does this say? Amuse says, put lights around your outfit. There you go. Nigel, thank you. It's not really Trump, even though the profile picture shows it, but that's the profile that they gave themselves. Unless, who knows? Maybe it really is. How's it going, Donald? I'll talk to you. Yeah, so I was about to say, yeah. I had Keanu Reeves was in love with me. And Mom, if you're still here watching, yeah, be careful with like spammers. I knew it was not Keanu Reeves. I knew that. Part of it too is like the first red flag was like, hey, thanks for being a fan of mine and like commenting. And I'm like, I've never commented on this, but I just kind of played it. I had a little fun. And I was like, oh my gosh, I knew my dreams would come true. And I pretended that we were in love. So outfit check, please. I told you the deal. You can subscribe or once I get my 500 roses. How's that? That's fair. Heavenly says, my dog is whining nonstop. Oh no. Upset stomach, anything wrong? Why is your dog whining? How old is your dog? And Amuse is smiling. Debbie says, LOL. But, oh, Nigel, you don't have to leave. I didn't ask you to leave. You're fine. Heavenly says, I'm here for a like avalanche. Go ahead and hit that like button. And that, yes. What is it? If you hold it down or if you keep doing it, you can get like confetti. So aim for the confetti. You want a cat. In time, when the time is right, you can get your cat. Meow, meow, meow. Cats are sweet. So I'm not angry at you. It's okay. So if you say you're being rude, it's okay. Just, I'm not upset. Just let that go and feel free to join in on the chat. So don't worry about that. I appreciate that. But you don't have to leave. So Mimi says, not the meow. Now you're being rude. Now it's time to leave. Oh, but you followed and I just kicked you out. You're welcome to stay. Tim is here. Amuse like the live. Debbie says, when are you going to cook again? All right, Saturday. What do I cook? I'll have to write that down. Saturday or Sunday, because I'll cook when people come over. So Mimi says, I'm going to be nice. Okay, I like that. I like nice people. Probably Saturday, maybe Monday also. Maybe I'll do a Columbus Day cookout, not a cooking show. So I've been tempted to make that chicken marsala. I want to make Grandma Shallay's lasagna. What's my favorite dish to cook? I want some steak. I've been craving something steak. I've been wanting that Chinese, it's not black gravy chicken. I don't know exactly what it's called. But so good. But Debbie, I think you watched when I overcooked the stir fry. I was talking to you about your son and it distracted me. My favorite dish to cook. I usually bake. And I'm single, so I don't really usually cook things like big meals, but I don't know. Like I make like a homemade macaroni and cheese that's really good. And I usually make like different kinds of chicken. I like chicken a lot. Steak does sound really good to me right now. But Debbie, I will cook again. And if it works out, my friend's birthday is tomorrow. So I have like a little surprise get together and make a couple extra little special things. Amu says, LOL, oh, I just had tenderloin tonight. I bet that was good. Mimi says, I need to try your food. That'd be so nice to get together. And Heavenly says, you were getting your class ready. I joined because I felt bad for this hard work you were doing. Aw, you're sweet. I'm glad you're here. And Amuse says, oh my God, I want chicken cacciatore. See, I forget about these things. Chicken cacciatore is really good too. I don't think I've ever made that. I don't think it would be all that difficult. Heavenly says, I'm glad I met you. And I'm glad you're here too. And I'm so appreciative for all the love and support. There you go. There are the hearts. Debbie says, you probably had the heat too high. Yeah, that's the other thing too is I grew up with a gas stove. And now, what does this say? I grew up with a gas stove and now I have an electric stove and it gets really hot really quick and it stays hot. So you can't just like adjust it down. It has to like cool down. But that was my fault. I kind of had it in the back of my head, like I need to check on it. But you had told me about your son and I was focusing on that for a little longer than I should have. And I probably should have definitely cooked it at a lower heat because of the fact I was live. Mimi says, I don't crave anything anymore. I went through like crazy stages where I craved double chocolate donuts for 2 years. Now I don't crave them anymore. But Mimi, I'm glad I met you too. Thank you for that. And look, Amuse, all the love. And you guys have been loyal. So you guys can build friendships between you guys too. And that's what I love about this. So yeah, what do I like? I want to I tried doing a stir fry that turned into barbecue chicken. And then the next thing I made, since I've seen you guys, I made a meatloaf. A lot of people don't eat meatloaf all that often. So I'm like, yeah, I'll make meatloaf, mashed potatoes and gravy. And I had some leftover mashed potatoes and gravy. So this is what I did today. Is I like, the TV dinners, the frozen dinners, and you cook the meal and then the mashed potatoes get overcooked and they're kind of like that crusty, funky. That's what I like. I love that. So that's for my dinner today. I took out the mashed potatoes and the gravy and added a little bit of butter and cheese. And I didn't mix it in, but that was my dinner. And it just reminded me of like pregnancy, all the weird thing you eat. And I'm like, what am I doing? It was interesting. But I tried purposely almost burning the mashed potatoes because I just love it when they get a little overcooked. David Lee Roth's birthday was today. Was it really? Heavenly says we are doing a smudge, if there is a bad spirit in our house. So Zena will feel comfortable. I don't know how to pronounce it. Are you saying smudge or smudge? And who is we? Who is we? Mimi says chocolate is nasty. I'm sorry. Well, I told you I used to really like chocolate. I don't eat it anymore. Not really, but I know some people don't like it. Some people do. Mimi says, but the thing is, I eat chocolate even though I don't like it. Interesting. It reminds me of a song by him at Teach. Haha. Is that who sang Hot for Teacher? That was Van Halen. Smudging with sage. Oh, okay. I wasn't familiar with smudging. You like Twix though. I almost had a Twix today. So some people say that works. I don't know. I don't like the smell of incense. I really don't. But I know sometimes kids are afraid of monsters, and so I created monster spray. You guys can do this if you ever have little children that are afraid. If you have body spray, you can just call it monster spray or put it in a special little spray bottle, maybe even add some water and just call it monster spray. Hi Melissa, hey there, how's it going for you? It's another great day over here. Muse says, oh, my friend had some Kilwin's chocolate turtles. They were so good. Oh, I remember those. The other thing, for a long time, I really liked the Girl Scout Samoas. Were they ever called s'mores? Talking about the Mandela effect. Mom, were they ever called s'mores? Were they always Samoas? Man, I had to stop buying those because I would either eat half the box or the whole box. Melissa says, I've seen you before. Melissa, yes, how's it going? Good to have you. And Josh is here. So, yeah, just so you guys know, I am on 3 platforms right now that are open, but it's always nice when you guys return or find me on other channels. So we're growing like crazy. And the more followers I get, I'm getting really close to my goal. So feel free to follow. Melissa says, I love how you are so tuned into people. I try and, with everything, like Debbie says, hit that like button. And Debbie is also asking, Trump, how are you? We have Trump in the house. Just a profile. But yeah, being tuned into people. Sometimes that is because, I know what it's like, that we're all on this channel searching for answers a lot of times, not all of us, but some of us, because my channel deals with, narcissism, mental illness, mental health, and kind of like relationships that go bad. A lot of us have a lot of guilt or shame or feel that we were to blame. Magna says, I like your glass frames. Can I see the sides? They're just kind of basic. I don't know. Melissa says, a lot of what you say is so true. And, sometimes we just want our feelings validated. The one thing we got to be careful of is that we're not kind of like coddled. There are times that we have to realize the truth. Sometimes we did play a part in the failure of a relationship, or um, sometimes our perception might not necessarily be for what's best, because when you're in that trauma response, it's hard to think logically sometimes. But we all have feelings and we all have to work through it, and we're all special in our own way. So that's why I like kind of, Mimi says I'm spamming you with likes. Oh, Amuse says First Peter 4, chapter 4, verse 9, show hospitality to one another without grumbling. And when it gets biblical, there's so much that is such good advice, and it would, if we could follow it, without justifying. But I did this because we were like, okay, I get it. It's hard. This is what I'm supposed to do. Amuse says, you do that so well, Teach. Thank you. I try. Debbie says, my son is now in treatment, so things are moving along in the right direction. Now, he's starting his treatment in 6 weeks, which is great. I'm still worried about the 6-week delay. That was my understanding from your text, is it's going to be 6 more weeks, or as he entered for 6 weeks. Mimi says, anyways, how was your day? My day was actually pretty good. I felt pretty good today. And it went pretty smooth today, but still struggling with being tired. So he's still in jail. Okay. Are they taking him straight from jail to a treatment center? I have a friend of mine who he's got 17 more days. Sometimes, if you're struggling with addiction, it makes sense to go through the treatment, because it was about to cost him his life. So he took it seriously. And there's times it takes people many times to get to that breaking point, because he was like, I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna stay off the alcohol. And yeah, Mimi, it's been 2 months of struggling, where I have like 4 hours of energy. It's been a bad struggle. It's been a bad struggle. Still got to follow up with my doctor, because some tests were a little abnormal. But yeah, struggling. I slept till, what was it, 8:30, something like that. Got a phone call, and so that's what I almost stayed in bed from 4 p.m. and just said I'm just going to sleep till the morning. But I figure I can go through tomorrow a little tired, because I got the weekend off. So Debbie says the treatment program is in jail. And, there are times that there can be rehabilitation. I got evaluated, talking about how was my day. Luckily, it was a good day. I got evaluated. Teachers get evaluated at least twice a year. And today was they're supposed to tell you when. They didn't tell me when. But luckily it went pretty good. But we were talking about recidivism, which is when you go back into jail or repeat the offenses. But there are times people can be rehabilitated. Sometimes people turn to God. Other times they go through these programs. But, it depends on the person, because there are others that will utilize jail time as a way to get the tricks of the trade and become more manipulative. So Debbie says apparently it's on the 5th floor. Not sure how it works, but he's going to be there for a while, probably 6 months. Hate to say it, he was going down quick, so that's actually a blessing. And hopefully he stays safe in jail, but that's actually a blessing. So Amuse says, how long have you been teaching? That's kind of a difficult question, because what is considered teaching? Because like I've always found ways to like teach. I was a recreational their aide. And then I did like different little dance and cheer clinics, and then unpaid teaching people. I just have a knack for teaching kids. And then I started teaching at a private school, and I don't even know, about 20 years, something like that. 20 years, I don't know. But I went through like private school, and then um, charter schools. I'm currently at the public school. Also did online teaching. So I've taught everything from pre-K 3 up through criminal law, college level at Grand Valley State. So you can teach dance. I used to work at Arthur Murray's. That was one of my first jobs, teaching ballroom dance. And then I did cheer and dance. I was a varsity cheer coach at Albion College. So yeah, I had my own dance studio, and it was going good until September 11th happened. We were getting really good enrollments, and then people are like, uh-oh. We were supposed to start classes like September 16th or something that year, but life has its twists and turns. So Melissa says, been with a man for 30 years. I think I finally figured out that I have been used all these years. Were there any years that were good? So we'll talk about that. And what was it that changed? What made you realize that? Amu says, who was the first gambler to never win any money? Me? I don't know. I don't know. Is this a riddle, or is this a real thing? So Amu says, right on. Want to barter on your dock removal? There you go. Melissa says, how could I have been so stupid for all these years? My family is so destructive. So I want you to give yourself some grace. You know, there's a lot of us who are like, how could I have been so stupid? You were manipulated or lied to, and you have a good heart. You believed in the good in people. And Jason, you are pretty intelligent. Teacher vibes suits you. Thank you so much. How's it going, Jason? I always think of June 16th every time. Actually, Jason, we're going to talk about Melissa real quick, but Jason, do you have time to chit chat? I want to talk. I almost did this. I was thinking about you. I was going to have the title Twin Studies, and Jason's a twin, an identical twin. If not, if you're not up to it today, but I want to talk about twin studies. So, but as far as feeling stupid, just realize, we can't change the past, and we were believing in people, and there is a lesson to be learned. So from now on, it's going to be easier to spot red flags, but not to beat yourself up for it. And his family is so destructive. So good night. Thanks, Mommy, for joining. I love you, Mommy. A few more days and I'll be out there to have brunch with you. I'm looking forward to it. And hit that like button. Thank you for your support. I love you, Mom. Mimi says, hi, I'm in pain. Aw. So, Adam. Jason, Jason's down. All right, we're going to talk. Awesome. Melissa says, I tried so hard, but the deeper I got into it, the worse it got. And I just kept doing it. Thank you. That's what I did. And Jason's saying good night to you too, Mom. Uh-oh, she says, see you soon. I don't know if she was talking to me or you, Jason. Can I bring Jason? So that is one thing. That's why we got to balance those energies, because certain people, when you try harder, it actually pushes them away. You have dismissive avoidance, narcissists, yeah. And there's a time that we got to balance it. And that's what sucks, is you try so hard to make things right, and that makes it worse. So just be your true authentic self. Sometimes we do that out of fear of abandonment. We start feeling the vibes are different, and it's two people in the relationship. So, but that's hard. That is hard. So Mimi says, I think I'm gonna go. Okay, get some sleep, Mimi. Was the first gambler Adam? He gambled. Oh, okay. I was wondering if you're going to talk about that. He gambled on the woman, right? So Melissa says, it feels like I'm married into a cult. Ooh, we were talking about cults. Um, and is that how did they deal with that? What made you feel like it was a cult? Did they try to take your money? Did they try? Um, Mimi says, "Nah, I'm gonna stay, even though I'm in pain." Okay, good. So Amuse, she's gonna stay. So let me know a little bit more about your story, and I can help you through that. But Jason, okay, so being an identical twin, I, would you say there's more things that are similar or more things that are different? And also, uh, you and your brother, are you both right-handed or is one of you left-handed? I think I asked you that before. Is one of you right and the other left-handed? So Amuse is like, yay, Mimi stay. And Melissa says, it's all about their family and making sure we all reflect the image of a lie. Yeah, when people are into their image and they care so much that they'll go to great lengths. Um, so you said like almost 30 years. Are you guys going through a divorce or what's going on with that? Or are you saying it was you were raised that way? Yeah, there's a lot of secrets in families, and they either use scapegoats or all kinds of things. Jason says, in the younger years, we were the same, but as we aged, we became our own people. You are both right handed. Ha ha ha. All right. So there are times that twins, when one will use this arm, the other uses this arm. So you got your right and your left. So in the crib, if you're playing, they mimic each other. So you guys are probably pretty independent then, or at least allowed to free roam a little more, other than. But but yeah, there's things on twin studies. You hear about the perfect strangers. Did you hear about that? Where it was like triplets that were identical, and two of them ran into each other and like, holy smokes, wow, they were separated at birth, and later on they found out there was a third one. Am I left-handed? No. My brother was left-handed, and they made him right-handed. Jason says different environments definitely changed us. My brother is the dark one. I'm more light, and I see that. And what's interesting is your brother. This is kind of interesting. You're both great-looking men, but he has a different style to him. And so it's not even like the personality. You can look, and he's got like the longer hair, just different, different clothing styles or things like that. That it's really interesting how our outside appearance, these are two identical men that are different. And Jason, I think I told you this. I was supposed to be a twin. Mimi says I would be scared if I had a twin. Oh, I think that'd be amazing. Did you like? He's Fabio. There you go. And who would you say you are? Um, you're Johnny Depp. You're Pirates of the Caribbean. That was really cool. But yeah, your brother's kind of like Fabio. Yeah. And then you're a little bit more clean cut and reserved ish. I know that real you. Melissa says I'm still with him, but his family destroyed me. Has he been good to you though, or is he just as bad? LOL, amazing. And there's that nature versus nurture. You guys had some trials in your life. Sister is here. Hello, beautiful. Good to have you here, sisters. So we're talking about twin studies. Sometimes you hear that you know the evil twin, the good twin. Did you guys ever try to John Stamos or Brandon Lee? I've been told. I could see that. I could see that. Yeah. So, were you guys treated different? Were you treated different? Or did people get frustrated they couldn't tell you apart? Um, it's kind of nice that one has the long hair and one has the short hair, so it is easier to tell you guys apart. But you're a little different, a little different. Um, Melissa says he is good, but still has defensive ways. Okay, when people are on the defensive, a lot of times it's low self esteem or little triggers in their lives. Jason says, yeah, friends used to call me Super Joe. That's right. Now you're a little bit bulkier, right? A little bit more muscular than your brother. Super Joe. So Joe is his brother, and Jason is Super Joe. Joe and Super Joe. How'd your brother feel about that? You're Super Joe and he's Joe. Interesting. Did they ever call him Little Jason or something like that? But how's it going, sisters? Debbie says we were not stupid. We just didn't know. Apparently, oh. And so Debbie is saying to Melissa that we weren't stupid. We didn't just didn't know. And that's a good point. Give yourself some grace, because if you don't know, you don't know. Uh, you know, um, as we learn, we can prepare ourselves. So, like sinkholes, some people have never heard of sinkholes where the ground just gives in. So if you've never heard of sinkholes, never seen that, have no clue what it is, you're not going to be like, oh my gosh, is my house over a sinkhole? So I live in Michigan. We've had some pretty big sinkholes, not that many, but I know. And so you utilize that knowledge to protect yourself in the future, but you can't kick yourself up like, it's so stupid. How didn't I know? Mimi says, I hate being in pain. That's always for me. Uh, Jason says, I'm sure he was happy about that. You think so? At least we're talking about him. You were just the super one. Melissa says, living with a family with narcissistics, I never knew that. And yeah, it takes time to realize, like, whoa, I didn't deserve that. Whoa, not every family deals with that. And feel free to join in, guys, with your comments. We're doing little twin studies and also talking about some things that are going on with Melissa and others. Jason says, genetically, we are exactly the same. I was first by 30 minutes. And they have it too, though, which is crazy. If you were to marry you and him, if you married identical twins, that the babies, because of the genetic coding, like it would also be like your son, but also your nephew, or like crazy kind of stuff genetically. Uh, what are those? What's a chimera? Um, is that what a chimera is? Like when it's, I don't know, something like that. But Melissa says, it's so hard to live with a man who grew up that way, but I have tried. And there are ways. Hello, Phil. There are ways to keep the peace a little bit more. The fact you made it 30 years, how many years of it would you say have been good? Jason says, my kids would technically be his kids. Yeah, so you can get child support from him. That'd be wild, though. There is that twin marriage couple. Debbie says, I knew my family was fudged up, but I didn't understand it all until I met a narcissist. And there are times that certain families, people try the best, and they're learning too, young parents or parents that didn't have the right kind of upbringing. But yeah, when you start seeing narcissists, you're like, whoa, and you start thinking like, whoa, I didn't deserve that, or I can't believe I went through that and didn't say anything. And how did I get so tall? Is my mom tall? She was like 5'10". She's a little shorter now. 5'10". My dad was like 6'1". But my grandpa was like 6'3", 6'4". My brother's 6'6". I have a cousin 6'11", 6'7". So there's a lot of height. I am Dutch. Dutch are the tallest people in the world. Debbie says my family was a royal mess. Well, at least you got some royalty. Put that crown on and smile. I know. I don't mean to make light of it, but yeah, a lot of times family dynamics. Jason says, yeah, friends used to call me Super Joe. Some reason I went back on that. All right, let me catch up. Melissa says, I think the way people are treated as they grow up causes the person. It does cause them how they react to things and the things that they think about and their safety and their triggers and all that. So, excellent point. Melissa says, he is awesome. I thank God he gave him to me to teach him differently. And we have to remember the person has to be willing to want to change. There are times that um, they have to want to change. So that's what's nice is when you grow together. So he's a good person. It's the family that's toxic, and is he willing to limit contact with the family? Mimi says, "Whoa, yeah, we're very tall." Melissa says, "My husband is so freaking defensive." Some of that might be from his past, from his triggers. But is he getting triggered? Because I know you said that you were brought here to kind of teach him to change. That might be why he's getting defensive. He might feel like you think he's not good enough or a failure or don't accept him as he is. So he might be defensive. Now, there are times too, if he's a narcissist, he's lying, he's trying to hide things, but there's something deeper going on if he's becoming defensive. So I just see those are the things just in that quick thing that he's wonderful, but I'm here to teach him how to change. And then he's getting defensive. So he's probably resisting that change. It might be uncomfortable for him. How do you feel about that? And Jason says chimerism is when you can have two different genes in the same body. Oh, the body consumes are fraternal. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Smarty Pants. Super Joe. Super Smarty Pants. Jason. Mimi says, my brother is tall. Fraternal twin. And Melissa says he wants to be different, but he loves his family. And that's hard. Sometimes we're caught between, loving people who are toxic to us. And that's where, maybe he needs to put up some better boundaries so he is treated right and makes it a little bit more comfortable around you. Melissa says, truth. I tell him all of the time how awesome he is. And he has to feel it too. And be specific, like you're awesome because of this. And try not to overdo it. So each one is every time you say it, it's special. It's not like repetitive to him. But that's good. Build him up and also let him know what's so awesome. Jason says, LOL. Mimi's falling asleep on me. Melissa says, why does he yell at me? Because he's becoming overwhelmed and he's trying to gain control. So is it usually when you ask him to do something or to have like a deeper insight onto something? What is his trigger? Does he just come home and yell? Is it something like the house is a mess? What causes that? Sometimes we have to get into it. Why does he get mad at me when I say the truth? Truth hurts. Truth hurts. Just like right now, if you guys were to come onto my channel and you guys are like, it was really nice. You did a great live chat, but your lighting sucked. It's like, okay. It was really nice, but your hair was a mess. Okay. It was really nice, but could you speak up louder? And somebody else is like, could you turn it down? You guys are too loud. Great job, but can we do a different topic? And you're like, oh my gosh, is anybody ever going to be happy? So sometimes it's like, I'm doing this, I'm trying. And I can handle what you guys say, but it's an example of, could it be something that a lot of times women and men, the dynamics where we want things a certain way. And we're like, well, yeah, you did leave a mess in the kitchen. I'm just asking him to clean things up, and Calibri is here. Hello, Cynthia. Hello, everyone. How's it going with you, Calibri? So, no, he yells about his family. Okay, so is it because people are defensive about what belongs to them? You'll see that a lot with parents where they're like, "Oh, your kid is gaining too much weight," or your kid needs a haircut, or That's your kid's going to a community college or whatever it is. People get defensive. I gave up everything for him. So do you have any resentment about that? You know, because we had to take some responsibility too in that. I do. Yeah. Good question. So, you know, there's times that we want the relationship more than um, are we doing too much to get that relationship? Is it worth what we're giving up? And we got to be careful when we give up too much, then we might start to resent the person for it. You know, for like, my husband wants me to be a stay-at-home mom. So I gave up my career. And if I'm okay with that, there's not a problem with that. But if I'm going to start having resentment, the relationship's eventually going to fall apart. There's ways to work around it, like, you know, so yeah. Try not to give up more than you think you should. It gets scary too. A lot of times, like the woman will give up her house to, you know, get married and move in with the guy. So the guy's sitting a little bit prettier than the women. It's more scary for the women sometimes. Granted, you could talk about finances, but I'd rather have a house payment than no house, if that makes sense. Amuse says give up too much and you lose yourself, and that's usually when things start falling apart in the relationships too. Kalibi says, since these clowns are into alcohol and whatever drugs they're taking, I am not surprised they're into group sex. Did you find that out? Do narcs have harem of women narcs in a cult? A lot of cult talk lately. I feel that we have them here. They're just keeping a clandestine group. I could hear certain doors shut during late nights since these clowns are into alcohol. There's also like human trafficking or prostitution. Do you think any of it's for money? Sometimes if they're doing drugs, maybe it's an exchange out of desperation to get their fix. Other times too, yeah, they groom people just for sexual gratification. So that can definitely happen. How long do those go on? Are they just there for like 2 or 3 hours, or are they there for days on end? Victor's, my girl left me after following her to Chicago. So you moved. Did you guys talk about that ahead of time? Because sometimes we're like, okay, they're moving. I'm going to show how much I love them. And then we move and they're like, this person's stalking me. Did you talk to her before you went with her? Jason says each person has their own love language. So Jason, what's your love language? That's true. There are different types of love language. Some people like gifts. Some people like time. Some people like communication. Some people like touch. And there's people who like all of it. But a lot of times, if somebody gave you a rose, you might prefer a smile or somebody to grab your hand instead. So knowing somebody's love language can help you connect. And Melissa says, well, mine is like closeness and physical touch and definitely communication. Melissa says, no, he yells about his family. And Melissa says, I worked for 30 years to support us. Was he working too? Melissa says, I think I have a right to just sit back for a while. I get it. Jason says, mine is physical touch and words of affirmation. Exactly. Sexy man. What's that? I mean, you're a kind soul. Yeah, I agree. Those are kind of what yeah. Gifts are nice, but I'd rather have, exactly the same thing. Mimi says, my love language is sleep. I agree. Kima? Kima? Thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate, it's probably Kim. Is it Kima? And Amuse? Sleep. Amuse is agreeing. Melissa says he was working too, but I supported us for 30 years. And that's an interesting statement. Do you think that you have any resentment? Um, so does that mean that you paid more of the bills? And is he not happy that you're not working now? Um, I see a little something. I don't know what I see yet, but there's something going on. Not necessarily like terrible, but I just see a little dynamics going on. Yes, it's Kima. It's a nickname. I like it. And Angie's here. Kalibi says, some of these critters take the stairs that are adjacent to my bed area wall, and the narcs get their alcohol-fueled parties below up as late as 2:30 a.m. And I could hear this notorious woman narc yelp a very evil laughter. And it's interesting, the evil laughter. Uh, so yeah. How old are they? Are they like 20s and 30s? But it's interesting on the laugh. There are evil laughs. All right, let me catch up, guys. Melissa says no resentment, but he is having a hard time now with me not working. Okay. I knew there was something, I wasn't sure. Okay, so what I saw was you saying like, dude, I did my job. If money is tight right now, though, that might be like from his perspective. Like, why can't you keep helping? He got accustomed to it. And is there an age difference between you guys? That's one thing too. Is like sometimes like different age groups, is 15 years that big of a deal in between people? Maybe not, but sometimes if one wants to retire and the other is still working, that can cause some problems. Shane, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. And Mimi says it's funny because I talked to a girl whose name is Kima. Interesting. So exactly. Okay. I knew there was something, I didn't know what it was. And I'm like, it's not necessarily bad what I'm seeing because I wasn't sure. Okay. What am I doing? I'm just chit-chatting at 12:27 in the morning. I could talk to you guys for a little bit longer, and then I need to go to bed so I can get ready for work tomorrow. But we're talking about, we got Jason, Super Joe is here. We're kind of talking about twin studies and also different things in life. Melissa says we have money because of my family. He shouldn't have an issue. And I am from Michigan. And Mimi says I need to go to bed. Yeah, I need to go to bed pretty soon too. So lots of love to you. Go ahead and get some sleep. Amuse says have a great night. I need some sleep. Yeah, if you guys have responsibilities, definitely do that. I will be live again tomorrow. But Kalibi says the narcs are in their late 50s to mid 70s. They're no spring chickens, but very dysfunctional group of people. And isn't that interesting how they flock together? Birds of a feather flock together, and you'll see that your party animals will stick together, and it's interesting. So pay attention to who you're spending time with, because it can affect you, and also when you're making new friends or dating. So you say, Kima says, my name is Kimberly. LOL, that's funny. That's cool. Kimberly, Kima. Melissa says, I have tons of money to contribute. I don't have to work for that money. Okay, so it's kind of a jealousy thing, probably. Like, if I got to work, why do you? Or why do I have to still work if there's money available? Or, yeah, so he's probably just a little jealous and doesn't know quite how to handle it. So he's kind of taking it out on you, if that makes sense. But that's not fair. That is not fair. Kalibi says, not surprised these narcs have stunted growth. Brains are stunted to toddler stage. And that's extremely accurate, that they can go back to like the 2-year-old mentality, or the crying, or the whining, or the throwing the fits, throwing items. Melissa says he comes from money too. He just hasn't gotten it yet. So yeah, you might want to sit down and talk to him about it. Yeah, that's hard. because he's going to see it different than you do. He might say, every day is a new day. Why don't we both work? Yeah, that might cause some tension. You guys might need a little help on that one. Mimi says, help. All right, go to bed. Is that what you want? You want me to come tuck you in? Daryl, that's a cool name. What is it? Tallenhoff? Tallenhoff. I didn't see you named that way. David is here. I had a tall and tone as my call. Tall and tone was mine. Kalibi says that's why they are cruel, unreasonable, and vindictive. Yep, I'm not going to be your friend anymore. And throwing things or hurting things. Me says I wish, but you can't. Not yet, but in time. In time, I'll come see you. We'll do a little get together. But more on the twin studies, though, because there's that Tatiana, and I can't remember her sister's name. They're connected by the head, and they can see out of each other's eyes, and they can think each other's thoughts. But Jason, did you and your brother ever like finish each other's sentences, or like intuitively know what the other one was thinking? Because you see that a lot. Or do you feel each other's pain? I know my sister called me. We're not twins, but we were pretty close. And she was like, why is my knee hurting? Tell me you're okay. And she knew that I got injured. It was really weird. And what are some cool things as twins that don't usually happen to other people that you have experienced, Jason? Mimi says, I'm going to be an adult when I meet you. Yep. Probably, but that's okay. And you're getting closer. In 16 more days, you got a birthday coming up. James for fun. Kalibi says, I think they know that I know what they are. I just avoid them and limit contact, if any. So, yeah. Sisters is here. Hello, hello. We're just getting a lot of good discussion going. But limiting contact, yeah. And sister, so good. I love all the colors. Mimi says, exactly, so you can't tuck me in. Oh, you'll still be my little adoptive internet baby. I have an internet baby out there. Right, Mimi? I'm your internet adoptive mom. And JJ and user 70. I know it's kind of nice being a kid, though. Yup. So let's see, what time is it? It is 12:30. Hi, JJ. Good to have you here. Jason says we connect on a deeper level than just family. And yeah, because you have what, one sister? How many kids in your family? You have a sister, right? Maybe two. I think you have one sister. I can't remember. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. When did you guys like split apart at like 12? Were you guys two sisters? Okay. I was like, is it one or two? Was there a time that you guys really started changing where you wanted your own identity? I know sometimes you'll see one, that's when they cut the hair or color their hair, or one gets a tattoo to stand out from the other, or they start dressing different. And who changed the most? Was it Joe that changed the most? Kima says, me and my oldest daughter are that way. She finishes my sentences and I hers. We have a connection. I had that with my daughter. It's neat when that happens. So Jason says we split at about 22. What about the girls? Were the same girls after you guys? He grew his hair out in high school. And yeah, I joined the Marines. Okay, Super Joe. Okay, so it was kind of like life just took you different places. But so the girls that chase you, are they usually the same type? Because if you think about it, if you have identical twins, let's go back to high school when you guys were still looking the same. Would you see that it was like the same girl liked both of you? Or was it more they saw your personality? Let's see how much people are into image versus personality. Kalibi says, good night, y'all. Good night, all. It's getting late there. Thanks for the chat, Cynthia. And I will see you tomorrow. I got to log off too. So thank you for joining. It's always good having you here. Okay, so you never, well, I hope you didn't date the same girls, but did the same girls like you? But that's good. Yeah, don't do that. Because there are some twins that will trick you. Good night, Debbie. Thanks so much. You lost? What do you mean you lost? Oh. Uh-oh. He lost his virginity first. Uh-oh. He's all flustered, doesn't know how to spell first. I'm just kidding. I see your correction. Interesting. Dang. Who was the more rebellious one? Who was I have a feeling you were the good boy, but maybe you did that because you wanted to be the bad boy. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Top Cat is here, and you're not gonna. Debbie says I'm not going to sleep. LOL. Well, then don't leave yet. We're not done yet. We got lots of love going. Sure, LOL. Love the hair. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, what do you think, though? That was a deep question. Oh, we got a dismissive avoidant in the house. I'm just kidding. So, thank you. Is it Felton? Mimi says, why you say dang like that? Just cause. Dang. I'm not going to sleep. Good. I don't know. And I have a big, beautiful smile. Thank you, Felton. I appreciate that. I know maybe sometimes adults do weird things. We like to say dang weird. She does. You're sweet. I appreciate that. Yeah, I had somebody today. You said it so calm. Okay. I don't know. But I had this one kid. She's like, how do you get your teeth so white? And she's like, let me. She was like up in my face looking at my teeth. It was so awkward, but that was kind of crazy. Oh, Melissa, I love you. I love you too. Good to have you. Jason says I was so shy in school. Did the Marines help you break out of that? I could see you being shy. Not now, but I can see that you used to be. There's something like, I don't know, there's something about you. You're special in a good way. Felton says they are pretty white. Love it. Thank you. Yeah, a little bit. I was super shy too, though. I was very shy. And my mom would tell me, go ahead and order pizza. And I wouldn't even want to pick up the phone. Very shy. I wouldn't want to talk to people. So, yeah, a little bit. Mimi says, I'm never shy. Yeah, it took me a while. I had to kind of train myself not to be shy. Now here I am on social media, a teacher standing up in front of people. Melissa says it's hard to get over all that stuff. I agree. I am from Michigan, Felton. Mimi says, but I'm shy to order food. Yeah. Well, at least we have something in common. Yep, that's me. Yeah, I would just I'll cook something. I'm not gonna call. I'm not gonna I'm gonna wait to get my mail so I don't have to say hi to the neighbors and but you're functioning. You're able to communicate to the people that you need to. So Jason, your Florida people, they make it through okay? I know that it was only a category 3. And I say only, there was so much devastation. If you look at how much devastation happened at a category 3, imagine what a category 5 would have been. Okay, good. Everyone is good. Yeah, everybody I know made it through that I know of. But yeah, I lived in Tampa for a while. So that's kind of scary. Also lived in Rockledge by Cocoa Beach. So Mimi says, I love you, and I'm going to go to bed soon. All right, so we will go ahead and do this. Well, nice chatting with you. Stay cute. Okay. I will. So we're going to log off because some of you guys have jobs to get to tomorrow, and I will be going live again tomorrow. So thanks for joining. I hate logging off when people are still here, but we have responsibilities and it's time to go to bed. Lots of love to you guys. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you in the next live stream. Topic requests are always welcome.